Hello and welcome back. In the previous two videos of this section, we learned about what is a balanced scorecard, why is it needed to do the business performance controls, and what is a sample balance card, what are the measures, different measures, financial, non-financial, customer-centric, employee-centric, internal processes-centric. Here in this video, we will be looking at few steps in making a balanced scorecard. These are very basic ones. We will not go into too much of details. If required, if you like it, I will make a separate course or separate detailed video on those things. You can send me your balance scorecard if you want my feedback. So let's look at it now. Select the organization unit. So this is the first step in doing it. So means profit center. For example, in our hotel, we have different profit centers. We have F&B unit, we have rooms division, you have other operating departments like laundry, spa. So we need to define clear organizational units, small units, and different profit centers or cost centers, which are the different engines of running the company. For example, you may have sales department, you have production department, you have a factory, you have distribution section. So those are different business units, not necessarily a profit center, it can be a cost center as well. So first we need to divide whole organization into separate chunks so that it's easy to manage. And then because every organizational part of the organization have its different objective, different functioning, and different impact on the overall performance of the business. How these processes, this is the second step, we need to link how they are linked to each other. For example, in hotel, F&B division is very highly dependent on rooms division, because if there is no guest in the house, it impacts a lot about the F&B revenue, because in hotels most of the customers are coming from internal or they come from outside, some big part of it. But also it depends on the sales and marketing, because a lot of things are done by sales and marketing, right? So that these are linked to each other. Now they are also in the sales department, human resources department is also linked because they are conducting the trainings. Now the finance is also important because they are making sure that there is no revenue leakage. There is a control. There is a important performance, important measurements are being taken for the performance. Some MIS are being generated on timely basis. Now the next step is to interview the stakeholders to understand what is important. So let's say in certain hotels where F&B revenue is not so much, there's not so many F&B departments, so there's no need for a separate measurement for F&B revenue. Just like in our previous example we did. So it depends on what are the important aspects of the business and how the business is being run. So this is to interview all the different stakeholders, the marketing guys, the operational guys, the sales guys, the finance guys, and the CEO and the shareholders. What are important, how is it important, how much customers are important to you, how much suppliers are important to you. So these are all different measurements that business need to understand. Now the next step is going to be summarize the different objectives and harmonize them. So you need to be able to put weight on different measurements, summarize them into one summary. As we said earlier, that there should not be more than 10 or about 15 maximum objectives. After that, because let's say in the business we define 10 objectives, but who is responsible for what business also is important. We need to identify that as well, right? After that, we need to do a executive fine tuning, executive workshop, and we get leadership support from that, because without leadership support, balanced scorecard is not going to work. There is no way balanced scorecard can achieve anything without the executive leadership, because it has, as I said, there are so many measurements. So it needs to be because it's defining your vision, your executive, your strategy. So how can you make a balanced scorecard which is not aligned to the strategy? If your strategy is customer centric, You cannot be, there's no way that you don't have anything related to customer in the balance scorecard. Or if customers are not important and you are putting a too much focus on customers, then also is a problem. So this workshop is to get some fine tuning and support from the leadership, and then you need to cascade it out. Like there are 10 points, so one person is not responsible for achieving all of them, right? So you need to cascade it down and say, okay, this one is responsible. So revenue is responsible by sales and marketing, maintenance is performed by the engineering department or maintenance department, or employees training satisfaction is done by HR, is managed by HR, so is their KPI. So every KPI has to be assigned to executive so that it can be his KPI and he can lead the organization to achieve those objectives. In a distribution company, the running on time, so the orders are delivered on time, how much orders are late, so that one is also has to be managed by the distribution manager. So these are different ways and different methods of doing the balance scorecard. So this was all about the balance scorecard. I will look forward in the last section of this course, which is gonna be the management information system. Here again we will be touching a basic on the management information system, how to set up and what are the management information system. Stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching till end.